Ever wondered who would build the roads if not the government? It's a question that might sound absurd on the surface. After all, we're so used to the idea that public goods like roads, bridges, and highways are the domain of government bodies. But have you ever considered an alternate reality, one where these public goods aren't solely dependent on government funding and construction? Now, I know what you're thinking. It sounds like a far-fetched idea, but bear with me because history has some intriguing insights to offer. You see, in the early years of the United States, this alternate reality was, in fact, the actual reality. Intriguing, isn't it? Back then, roads were not exclusively built by the government. Instead, they were financed and constructed by private investors. Yes, you heard it right. Private investors. Now, the million-dollar question is, why? What could possibly motivate these individuals to invest in something as unprofitable as road construction? Well, as it turns out, their motivations were not entirely pecuniary. These investors were driven by the indirect benefits, such as increased land value and enhanced access to markets, that came along with these roads. And that's not all. The dynamics of self-interest and community interest also played a crucial role in this seemingly unusual investment scenario. This might seem surprising, but let's delve into the details. So, buckle up as we embark on this enlightening journey, challenging conventional wisdom and paving the way towards a better understanding of public goods and private investment. So, what is this theory of public goods and what do we mean by the free rider problem? Let's start with public goods. These are goods that are non-excludable and non-rivalrous. In simpler terms, if I use a public good, it doesn't stop you from using it too, and I can't exclude you from enjoying it either. Examples of public goods include streetlights, public parks, and yes, roads. Because of these characteristics, it's widely held that public goods can only be provided by the government. Why? Well, because they wouldn't be profitable for a private company due to their non-excludable and non-rivalrous nature. Now, onto the free rider problem. This is a scenario where some individuals consume more than their fair share of a resource or pay less than their fair share of the cost. Picture this. You're in a group project, and there's this one person who doesn't contribute but still benefits from the group's grade. That's the free rider problem. In the context of public goods, the free rider problem arises when people enjoy the benefits of these goods without paying for them. For example, imagine a road that everyone can use, but some individuals don't contribute to its maintenance. These individuals are free riding, enjoying the benefits without bearing the costs. This problem often leads to under-provision of the public good, as those who could pay may choose not to, expecting others to shoulder the burden. But what if we told you that this isn't always the case? We'll delve deeper into this intriguing proposition in the upcoming scenes. Stay tuned. Can you imagine roads being built and maintained by private entities? Now let's delve into this intriguing concept by looking back at history. In the early years of the United States, this was not only a possibility, but a reality. Yes, you heard it right. Roads were privately financed and constructed. Now you might be wondering, why would anyone invest their hard-earned money in building roads? Well, the answer is quite simple, and lies in the indirect benefits that these investors were seeking. One such benefit was the increase in land value. You see, when a road was built, the surrounding land's value would skyrocket. This meant that if you were a landowner and you invested in a road project, you would stand to gain significantly from the increased value of your land. Another motivating factor for these private investors was the access to markets. Roads are, after all, the arteries of trade. They connect people, places, and most importantly, they connect markets. So, if you were a business owner, building a road would mean easier access to your customers and potentially more sales. This prospect of increased trade was enticing enough for many to take the plunge and invest in road construction. But let's not forget, these roads were not built for charity. They were built as part of a business model, where investors expected to recoup their investments and make a profit. Some roads charged tolls, while others were built with the expectation that the increased trade and land values would offset the cost of construction and maintenance. So we see that the motivation for private road construction was not altruistic, but rather driven by self-interest. A self-interest that, interestingly enough, aligned with the greater good of the community. This historical example of privately financed roads provides a fascinating lens through which we can examine the dynamics of public goods and the role of private sector involvement. Interesting, isn't it? But there's more to it. How do self-interest and community interest come into play in this context? We're about to dive into that. In the realm of economics, self-interest refers to actions that elicit personal benefit. It's a motivating force behind many economic activities. Now imagine a private investor looking at a piece of land. He doesn't just see dirt and shrubbery, he sees potential. A road built on this land could mean increased land value. It could mean access to new markets, more customers, and ultimately, more profit. This is self-interest at work, but there's another significant player on this economic stage: community interest. This isn't just about what benefits one person or one company. It's about what benefits the community as a whole. Let's go back to our private investor. Sure, he stands to gain from his new road, but so does the community. They get improved access to goods, services, and opportunities. They get a boost in local economy. They get a better quality of life. In this way, the interests of the individual and the community intertwine. Private entities may be motivated by self-interest, but their actions can also serve the community interest. This synergy can drive private investment in public goods like roads, even when they don't seem profitable at first glance. But the question is why? Why would anyone invest in something that doesn't promise immediate monetary returns? The answer lies in looking beyond the tangible, beyond the pecuniary. It lies in understanding that value isn't always measured in currency. It's measured in progress, in growth, in the well-being of the community. This brings us to an interesting theory, the Misesian theory of rationality. What is this Misesian theory of rationality, and how does it relate to our topic, I hear you ask? Well, the Misesian theory of rationality is a fascinating concept that takes into account non-pecuniary motivations. This means it considers benefits that aren't necessarily financial. Yes, you heard that right, not everything revolves around money. So, how does this theory explain why people invested in turnpike corporations that weren't profitable? Well, it all comes back to those non-pecuniary motivations. Investors saw value beyond the financial. They saw increased land value, they saw access to markets, and they saw an opportunity to contribute to their community. Essentially, they were motivated by factors that went beyond the immediate bottom line. This theory of rationality provides a more nuanced understanding of human behavior. It shows us that people are complex and multifaceted, driven by a range of motivations that can't always be measured in dollars and cents. This is the beauty of the Misesian theory of rationality. It reveals the richness and complexity of human decision-making, challenging us to look beyond simplistic, one-dimensional interpretations. Now, let's consider the implications of this theory in our current times. How does this history affect our understanding of public goods today? It's a fascinating question. The existence of privately maintained roads in our modern age illustrates that the free rider problem can be tackled effectively. Such roads are often financed through mechanisms like clauses in mortgages and commercial leases, ensuring that those who benefit from the road share in its maintenance cost. On the other hand, government-provided roads can inadvertently serve as subsidies for private businesses. This happens when taxpayers shoulder the cost of road construction and maintenance, which in turn facilitates the transportation needs of certain businesses. So, in essence, the public may end up indirectly supporting private enterprises. This exploration of private and public road construction provides a new lens to view the dynamics of public goods and the roles different entities play in their provision. So, next time you drive on a road, think about who built it. And if you found this information useful, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which topic you'd like me to explore next.